What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Corey B. Alright, given that yesterday was yesterday was midterms. Man, your boy tripping, man. My head ain't in the game right now. So given that it's election time, and man, everybody got something to say, man, and that's cool. That's fine. It's fine for everybody to have their opinions. Fine for everybody to have their thoughts and their perspectives. And man, it's an important thing to have an opinion. It's an important thing to have some perspective and to care about these things, because it's our country, it's our nation, it's what's going on in the world, you know? I mean, it's important. But it's also important that you have realistic perspective, you know? Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you think is gonna win or who you think should win. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be all on the same side here. We're supposed to all be Americans. We're supposed to all be Americans. We're all supposed to believe in doing what's best for our country and putting our best possible, you know, foot forward, and really caring about, you know, what we're doing in legislation and in policy, and to best benefit the nation and the people, the everyday citizen. You know, people forget, you know, everybody focuses so much on the president, you know. Midterms are important. Your local elections are incredibly important. You know, there's so much happening locally, but with the school board, with your city representatives, your state representatives. These things are important, man. These things matter. Those people affect you on a daily basis so much more than a president does. President has influence. Absolutely. President does things. President definitely affects your life, but not nearly as quick or not nearly as big as your local officials. But frequently your local officials are overlooked. Oddly enough, okay, so, and the reason I mentioned, you know, your these other positions, these other officials, these other representatives, and I mentioned the president because, oddly enough, I can't even wrap my head around how much this is midterms. Nobody's voting on the president right now. But oddly enough, I heard more talk about the potential presidential candidates than I did other positions, other officials, Senate, representatives, gubernatorial elections. You know, I mean, it's just, I've tried to put some distance. I've tried to, you know, for the well-being of my family, my sanity, our own peace, to just kind of take a step back for a moment and just not get bogged down in all the hype and what's going on and all the nonsense. You know, it's just too much. I don't think it's therapeutic. I don't think it's healthy for us, because there's too much muck. There's too much ugliness. And that's not where my head's at. That's not where my heart's at. Now, I don't want my heart to get all just, in my head, just to be just all caught up in the ugliness. And so for me, while we've been on this journey traveling lately, I've really taken an opportunity to just kind of take a step back from it. And so, I mean, you can only avoid it so much. You turn on the TV, you turn on the radio, little things pop up on your phone. We all got smartphones, so anything we've ever subscribed to or done or anything, somebody's got something to say about something. So it's like, it's hard to get away from. You know, as much as my family, we've made an effort to really just take a step back. It doesn't mean we don't care. Absolutely we care. It's important. It's vital. That's why I started off by saying it's important, because it is. I don't want you to get the wrong idea that I don't think it's important. But I also think perspective is important. And I think your own sanity and your own health and, you know, your peace of mind and things like that, those are important too. And people overlook all that. And so, the thing that I wanted to really, really touch on is just this idea that every time, I mean, I've heard, just turn on the TV, turn on the radio, and I've heard so much about Biden and so much about Trump. And every time I've uploaded one of my posts, one of my videos I uploaded to Facebook or I uploaded to Twitter just to kind of share my videos and share, me and the family are growing our brand. And while we're doing that, we got to continue to plug it. This journey is part of that, And when I plug it, if you've plugged something on Facebook or you plug something on social media anywhere, any of these platforms, you know that when you plug it, it instantly, while it's uploading, it transfers you back to your home page, your feed. And as it's transferring me back to my feed, I can't tell you, it's everything. It comes back every now and then. It pops back up to, one of my friends or family members doing something cool, and that's super awesome. I love seeing those things because, I don't get on social media that much lately because I've tried to take a step back from that as well, just because there's too much muck and too much stuff I'm not interested in. But when it pops up and shows something about my friend or family member or something like that, I'm like, oh, cool. I see that so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing that. It's super awesome. See a little post from my brother or my daughter or something, and it's cool. One of my cousins or Kimberly's family or something like that. It's super cool. It's awesome. But also there's been, most of the time, it's not that. Most of the time it's something about, oh, well, Biden's going to save the day because of this, or Biden's destroying our country because of this, or Biden's the cause of this, or Biden's this or that or whatever. Let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about how Trump's saving the day, or Trump's the end of this or the end of that, or he's caused this or caused that. And it's like, I'm just going to say this. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter. I don't care if you're a Biden supporter. I really don't care. I've got my opinions. At the end of the day, I can believe that we're all human, and none of us are going to get 100% of everything, of anything right. We're not. So I don't care if it's your favorite candidate, or I don't care if either one of our presidential candidates happens to be your brother or your cousin. If you don't realize that your brother or cousin has faults, ooh, man, you got to open your eyes, man. So they're going to get things wrong. At the end of the day, Trump's not going to save the planet. Trump's not going to save the planet. Trump's not going to save the country. At the end of the day, Biden's not going to save the country. At the end of the day, not a one of them. Not any of them. Not nobody, I'm telling you. The only one who's going to save our country, the only one who's going to save our nation, going to save our world, it's going to be through Jesus, man. It is. That's it. Now, it doesn't mean, like I said, it doesn't mean you shouldn't vote. Obviously, you can't vote Jesus into the presidency. But the reality is, these leaders that are put into position, they're put in a position of leadership, a position of influence, a position of some level of power. Although there's also many laws and the balance of powers that helps to, regulate the amount of power that they have. But at the end of the day, not one politician or political official or leader of our country is ever going to be the savior. Not one president, not a single one of them. Not Obama, Bush, Clinton, Reagan, Johnson, Washington, Lincoln. I don't care. A lot of them have done. You can sit there and list the many great things that lots of them have done, but you can also list the things, their shortcomings, their failures, their short-sightedness, because they're humans, and that's the end of the day. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's always going to be. Is they're humans, and they're always going to fall short in some area. But what matters is that you vote with your heart. You vote with your heart, and you vote with your mind. You need to believe in your heart that you've made a wise choice, that you've made a smart decision, that you've voted for someone that you believe is a positive, good influence for our country, that's going to do great things for our country. But then you're going to have to use your mind also. You're going to have to use your brain and be smart about it and know that, hey, they're going to make mistakes. All of them are going to make mistakes. And at the end of the day, who's going to make the best possible choices? Who's going to make the fewest mistakes? Who's going to be the best positive influence for our nation, to represent our country, to lead our country? And you have to remember and be reasonable with yourself, knowing that they're not going to save our country. Jesus is going to save them. Jesus is going to save us. These people aren't going to save us. They're going to be put in a position of influence, a position of leadership. That's it. That's it. So don't expect them to save it. If you expect any one of them to save the day, you setting them up for failure right there. If you know that they're not going to save the day, but they're going to do the best job that they can, and you believe in their platform, you believe in the things that they stand for, you believe, and I'll tell you right now, there has not been one single, since the day I was old enough to vote, there has not been one person that I 100% agreed with everything that they stood for. Not one. But there was a lot that they stood for that I believed in. And I could overlook the one thing or two things or three things that we disagreed on because of the 12 things we did agree on. And or the 8 things or whatever. It doesn't matter. The numbers don't matter. It's like, that's what you got to do. You got to weigh your options, vote for the best possible person. And then when you vote for them, you got to know in the back of your mind, you got to remember that they're human. They're going to fall short in some areas. And don't ever misguide yourself or mislead yourself to believe they're going to save this country, they're going to save the world, or they're going to save you. Because if you do, you've already set them up to fail, because they're not going to save you. Jesus can save you. Jesus can save all of us. But no politician, no person is going to save us. It's just not going to happen. You just hang that up and let that go, and let's move on. Don't get it twisted that these people can do something like that, because they can't. It's not in their power. It's not in their wheelhouse. All right. I feel like I ranted about this enough, so I'm going to let it go now. I'm going to move on, but I want y'all to let that marinate. I want y'all to really, every election that you participate in, that you have the privilege of voting. Yeah, that's a privilege, man. People talk about it being a right, but don't forget it's a privilege to be able to vote. It is. It's a privilege and it's a responsibility. So take it serious. People get this whole right, this word right twisted, and they don't look at it from the proper perspective. But that's a post for another day. So we'll talk about that another day. But today, I want y'all to just remember that when you have the privilege to vote, vote. But when you have the privilege to vote, vote with the right perspective. Make sure you've weighed your options. Make sure you know you're educated. You know who you're voting for. You know why you're voting for them. And you know that they're not going to save you. But they're going to do the best damn job they can. And that's what matters. They're going to get out there and they're going to do the best possible job that they can for this country. For all these great Americans. For all these citizens out here that need a positive influence. A good, strong representation for our nation. All right. Y'all have a great day. Y'all be blessed. And just remember to be thankful. It's Jesus that's going to save you. It's Jesus that's going to save all of us. All right. I got love and respect for all of y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. It's your boy, Corey B. Y'all be sure to hit me with some love. Give me a like. Hit that subscribe button. Ding that bell. Get your notification. Don't miss out. I got so much more coming at you. I'm going to keep dropping some knowledge on y'all. Keep creating more content. And as you've noticed, there's been so much more of me and the boys and just... well, mostly the boys, just doing their wild and crazy antics, and we're going to keep posting stuff for y'all. They love doing this. So y'all stay tuned. It's your boy, and I'm out.